Hello, tarot lovers. Welcome to Sunday night Whispering Spirit Tarot Report, your energy report for the week of, it is, what is it, August? August the 1st. Good to see you, but no one's jumped on yet. It will be good to see you when you jump on. Hello, Nakia. Nakia Shorkia. That's a pretty name. Hello. Hello, hello. Say hello when you jump on so I can greet you. Drop your name in the comments. Hello, Nicola. Hello, Marie. Hello, everyone. So glad you made it. Hello, Christine. I'll just wait for a few people to jump on before I get started. So you know I'm going to do an energy report for the week. So that's what I'll do first, and then I'll do our reading. Marie, I'm going to do an energy report for the week first. So I'll explain what I do. That's right. I forgot. Hello, Nicola. Hello, everyone. Hello, Wayne. Hello, Corey. Kayla, hello. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Hello, everyone. Tarot lovers. Yes, well, the power was out here in Perth. I didn't have power this morning. It was freezing. And I went to take my daughter horse riding and we got hailed on. It was so cold. It was 10 degrees. That's really cold for me. We're outside in the rain, and then we thought the power went out as we were leaving 7 o'clock this morning, and I thought for sure it'd be back on by the time we got home, and it wasn't, and it was so cold. As soon as the power came, I think it came on back on about 3 o'clock, I cranked the heater up, and then I was under the blanket, had a couple of donuts, and then it was all over, gone, out like a light for about an hour. It wasn't very long, maybe it was 45 minutes, but a quick nap. I was freezing. It was so cold, and it's still cold in Perth. We've got this really unusual weather. Well, I don't know. It's rained so much for paying for water. We don't need to. We've had so much rain. It's been flooding. So cold. Anyway, hello, everyone. Hello, Caroline. Hello, Bernadette. Hello, Samantha. Steph, hello. Hello, Nigel. Alicia, hello. Ashley, I should say. I haven't got my glasses on. I should really, but what happens, you'll see, I get the reflection and then I can't see. Then I've got to do all this thing all the time. But it does help. Maybe I should keep them on tonight so then I can see. There's a reflection in there. Oh, guys, you guys don't mind, I guess. It is better because then I can see better. Anyway. Good to see everyone. Hello, Yvette. Hello, Christine. Hello, Cosmic. I'm not going to even try and pronounce the following words. Oh, so many amazing people have jumped on. I'm so happy that you're here. Fabulous. So good. So good. Hello, Brooke. Oh, some people I haven't seen for a while. Cat. Hello. Sonia. Tazzy. Hello. Nice to see my jacket buttons hitting the thing. It's probably making a noise. I'll move it away. Hello, Anne-Marie. Oh, so many. No, I don't like contacts, Caroline. I don't like them in my eyes. I don't like the feeling of it. It's yucky. I'd rather just put some glasses on. It's no problem. It's just a reflection on here, isn't it? It's a bit annoying. But, I don't need to look at myself, do I? I just need to look at you guys and see what comments you guys are making. As long as I can see that, I just thought it might be a bit not very nice for you guys to see the reflection. Because if it's not reflecting for you, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Anyway, so hello, first timer, Amanda, popping the cherry. Sunday Night Live, tarot lover, popping a cherry. So, okay, so let me introduce myself. So there's a few new people on tonight. Excuse me. My name is Marina Lovas, and I refer to myself as your soul purpose mentor. And I support intuitive and spiritual entrepreneurs to monetize their passion to purpose, creating programs and services that sell out, teaching tarot and channeling. So I teach both tarot, the mythic tarot, therapeutic tarot is my specialty. And in fact, my channeling is therapeutic channeling as well. I can't help it. It's just part of it. It's ethical. I think we must, if we're going to be sitting in space where people are opening up and sharing their vulnerabilities. You really need to have a therapeutic background or have some sort of therapeutic training to be able to hold space. Even just counselling 101, just a little bit of training just to be able to hold space ethically. Anyway, so yes, that's what I do. And what I should do, a little bit of housekeeping. So it's been amazing. I talked about my psychic circle. Who put an angry face? Who did the angry face? Be happy. This is free. Whoever did the angry face. Anyway, let me say this. So my psychic circle, we just had the best session on Thursday night, which is 6 p.m. Perth time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern States time. And we were channeling the Ascended Masters, Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, Jesus. We had Iris, the beautiful goddess Iris, coming. It was such a magical session. It was so fabulous. I'm going to close the doors to my psychic circle by the end of this week. I haven't decided what day, but I'm feeling like I want to put closure on it. So it'll be this week. I think it's probably going to be Wednesday. So this is your last chance to get in, to have 3 months worth of training with me. So that's psychic development training, soulful business training as well. So it's a combination. So it's me training you in the intuitive arts and me helping you set up a business in the intuitive arts as well. And of course, it's witchery. It's a coven. It's actually a coven for witches, for contemporary witches like myself. I don't look like your standard witch, and I don't want to, for contemporary witches. And so, yes, you'll be learning about the craft. You'll be learning about psychic development, as well as getting some soulful business mentoring. And it is the most inexpensive way to do work with me. And it's for 3 months, the 3 months container. I'm going to put the link in the comment section there. The people in the current group are absolutely loving it. They've all signed up again for another 3 months. If you want to join, please message me. I'd love to. If you want to ask me some questions, don't hesitate. I don't mind answering the questions. You can pay it by payment plan as well. It doesn't have to be upfront. You can do a payment plan. If you do pay in full, you're going to receive my free. Well, it's valued at $150, but you'll receive my Tarot Lovers Introduction to Tarot Lovers training. It's a 3-hour training, tarot training, self-paced study package, where you'll learn everything about the cups and the mythic tarot and the psychology. I'm not talking the divinatory meanings. I'm talking about the psychology of the cups and the mythic tarot and how to apply that in your readings. So you get that for free for signing up. Plus, you will love this space. So if you've got any questions, just message me, private message me, or what you do, there's the link. I'll pop the link in again. Just have a look on the link. It's there. Have a look on the link. There we go. There's the link, or private message me. Marina Lobas, private message me. Okay, so let's get started. So how this works, I'm going to pick 3 cards for this week. These 3 cards will be the reading, will be the energy report for this week. So your spirit team, my spirit team, your higher self, my higher self, all working in sacred collaboration together. And I've put my hand up to channel for us because I happen to love doing that. I have no problem doing that. So once I've done the energy report, which will be really relevant, it'll be sort of grounding, it'll ground the one card readings or the 2 card readings that I do for you afterwards. So after I've done the energy report, yes, I'll do some private one-to-one readings on here. Well, not private, but it's public, but one-to-one readings. And yes, you can either put a question in or just put yes in the comment section. I encourage you to just keep putting the question in because it scrolls past quickly and I miss it. So I won't think that you're being a troll if you keep putting your question in. That's fine because it scrolls past really quickly. So yes, don't be afraid to do that. And yes, that's it. So please don't ask me any health questions. I think it's really unethical, and I'm not a medical practitioner, and I'm not the person that you should be asking. If you have a serious health issue, you probably should go and see a professional who deals in that, who specializes in that area. That's not me. My specialty is therapy and psychology. Okay, so let me pick 3 cards for this week. Let's see. So I use the Mythic Tarot. I think the lady before me on Spirit Directories has the Mythic Tarot as well, which is unusual because they are an unusual deck. Well, our decks are because they're quite old. They're out of print. Anyway, okay, let me pick 3 cards. Big sigh. Let some energy out. Release some energy. Okay, let's see. What have we got for this week? Oh, okay. 5 of Cups, really relevant for my people actually that have been doing some training with me, really relevant. And what an interesting card to get for this week. So the 5 of Cups. Let me tell you a little bit about the story because it's really relevant. So Psyche, this person here, this girl here, her name is Psyche. It means soul. Psyche means soul. Eros over here, Eros is he's spirit. Anyway, these two, they got married. They got married without really knowing each other. So they lived in this very blissful, amazing location. He whisked her off this rock, rescued her from a sea monster, whisked her away into this secret location, and she had all of her needs met. She had everything that she wanted, but it was a fantasy. It was an illusion. In other words, it was bullshit. The whole thing was just a big, massive illusion. However, she still enjoyed it, but for a while there, she got a bit suspicious. She started to feel an off note. And when she started to feel an off note, she knew that she had to confront him. He had said to her that she can only come to him at night, that she could only go and see him at night. She wasn't to look upon him. So he would come to her in the dark. So this is like all fantasy in her mind, this person. It wasn't real. It was an exalted version of what she wanted, the fantasy of what she wanted. Anyway, eventually she decides that she can't handle it anymore. She has to see him. So she lights this lamp, and she takes this lamp and she leans over him. She's also got a knife in her hand. She doesn't trust him. So the knife is the distrust, the lamp is the wisdom. And she leans over him and she goes to potentially cut his throat. As she leans in, she shakes and she sees what she witnesses is this, she gazes, her eyes, she's gazing upon this beautiful God, Eros, the God of love. She couldn't believe that that's who she had married. And so, as she leaned over him, she dropped some hot oil on his shoulder. He woke up. He was pissed off that she didn't trust him. He took off, ran to mummy's house like an immature, had low emotional IQ, ran off to his mum's house and left her there standing. And what happens is she lost everything. So this card sort of represents the conflicts and the betrayals that we have in our relationship. In the story, Psyche didn't trust. She didn't trust Eros. And in fact, Eros didn't trust Psyche either. He didn't want her to see him because he was the child of Aphrodite, who absolutely was jealous of Psyche and wanted to kill her. And he thought that if Psyche knew that he was the son of Aphrodite, that she would leave him. So this card represents the ways in which we're not being honest in our relationships, and the way in which we're not sharing ourselves honestly in fear of conflict. This card also represents the betrayals, like feeling like somewhat betrayed, or potentially being afraid to open your heart because you're afraid of betrayal from the past issues. So this card does represent some conflict in matters of the heart, whether that be, it doesn't necessarily have to be lovers either. It could be family members, it could be friendships, it could be, children, it could be parents, it could even be work relationships as well. If there's a strong connection there, it could even be something like that as well. But this is the fears of, or having been through conflict, or potentially needing to go into it's not battle. It's about speaking your truth. It's about being honest, opening up. Sometimes I call this card the first fight that we have in our relationship, and it's usually the most hurtful one. You get scared, you're scared they're going to leave you forever, or you're scared you're going to break up after that first fight. So it is the purpose of this argument was really to strengthen Psyche's sense of agency and sovereignty in her relationship. They both split up and they both had to develop their own sense of identity and autonomy. So on some level, this is about stepping into your own agency. What do I mean? To be your own person. To be your own person in your relationship. And yes, it does sometimes require that we do have a little bit of conflict. You do need to speak your truth. Is my voice breaking up? Somebody's just said your voice is breaking up. Is it for me or for everybody else? Hello, Donna. Good to see you. Is my voice breaking up for everybody else? Can somebody please just let me know? Because that's not good. Nobody else is saying that. No, doesn't seem to be anybody. Nobody else is complaining. Somebody will complain if it is. It might be you, Cosmic. It could be you. All good. Great. Okay. So, so this is the card. Well, let me say this. It is about working on the heart chakra. It is about working on those betrayals. It is about working on trust. It is about learning how to overcome your fear of betrayal as well, and to have those deeper, meaningful conversations despite how scary it might be. All is not lost. One cup still remains, well, you probably can't see it. One cup still remains standing. It's not, whilst so the other cups are spilt, you don't have to worry. One cup is still remaining. It's not the end. It won't be the end, but these conversations need to be had. Okay, let's see what the other card is. So I pick these cards randomly, by the way, and I have them face down, so it's all on the fly. I'm not, unprepared. Oh, look. Okay, so now we have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, out of all the cards, out of all the queens, she's probably the most, she's the most intelligent. She is about intellect. She's in the sign of Aquarius. She's very knowledgeable. She's incredibly sharp. She is, she can think outside of the box. She's very expansive in her thoughts, imaginative as well. And she's a fixed sign. So what does that mean? She's the stable force of this energy. And so this is about brilliance of mind. Sometimes we have to, whilst we're sort of, learning how to trust our hearts, sometimes we have to include the balance of the mind in there as well. She is pouring her emotions away from her. So she's not truly, she's Aquarians generally don't like, this is like a sweeping generalization, and it depends what other signs are in your chart and where it's placed in your chart. However, let's just do a sweeping generalization. Aquarians tend to not really enjoy deep, intimate, like conflicts, problems. They don't want the messiness of the intimacies of intimate relationships. They don't like it, don't enjoy it. And she was like that as well. This is somebody who's very critical. We're being called to stop being so hard and so harsh, on ourselves and on others. Yes, we need to use our head. Yes, we need to be smart about the way in which we make our moves around our relationships and the potential conflicts that we find ourselves in within our relationships. But we also need to stop, to be a little less critical. She is like a perfectionist. She is, in the Mythic Tarot, she is so idealistic that nobody can actually reach, nobody can actually be at the level that she wants you to be, or she expects of other people. And she expects that of herself as well. So we're being called to drop down some of the expectations that we might have, or that we might be projecting upon other people. And really it's based on our own insecurities of not being good enough. So, it's continue to work on the heart chakra for sure, but also the balance of the mind. Like, be smart in your relationships. Don't get too carried away with yourself. But also on the other hand, with this card, she is so harsh. So we've been called to just give ourselves a break, not to be so harsh and hard, and yes, and critical. We're critical of ourselves and others. And yes, as I said, that comes from this deep place of insecurity. In the story, her name is Atalanta. Her father rejected her. She was rejected by her father, and she never really got over it. She never quite came to terms with that. And she became a warrior, and she never married. She was a warrior, she was a maiden, and she never married. And when she finally did find a lover, what ended up happening is she was cursed, and her lover were turned into lions, so they couldn't mate. So she spent, this is somebody, she doesn't do close relationships very well. And so that's some of the issue around this card. Let's have a look at the other card. Okay. Oh, these are harsh cards this week. I'll have to really tap into my higher consciousness to put it in a really useful, helpful way. So now we have, you probably can't see that, the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords actually represents, well, okay, let's talk about swords. Maybe I should talk about swords. Swords are transformational cards, actually. They're probably the most transformational of the minor arcana of the Mythic Tarot because they're karmic and they're disruptors. They create conflict and change, and it's the discomfort that we all feel when we go into, when we have to move through change, or when we have to go into unfamiliar territory, or when situations are ending. Sometimes the truth is uncomfortable. Sometimes there's a discomfort in the truth. And so this card is about facing, well, not this card, but the swords are very much truth seekers. But that doesn't really happen without some discomfort and chaos and destruction and disruption. They're very disruptive cards. And yes, and they rule the mind and they rule the air element, which air element is about high consciousness and truth and karma, clearing karma, karmic cards. Anyway, so going back to this card. So this is the card of having to keep your cards close to your chest. So, okay, so what I'm going to say about this card, those of you who might be in difficult relationships where you might be, maybe those expectations are on you to perform or to be this perfect person in your relationship, you're being called to plan very carefully your next move. So sometimes I'll say to people when this card comes up, divine timing. You'll know when the right time is to make your move. It could be moving out. It could be having that conversation that might create the conflict. It could be finally handing in your resignation. It could be finally cutting ties to the situation. It could be this card is the discomfort of having to do things that you know people aren't going to be super happy about, but it must be because it's karmically, it must happen, it must be. So, sometimes life requires us to tell white lies, and that's okay. And I say that to my clients when this card comes up, that sometimes we're just going to keep our cards close to our chest to protect ourselves so that we don't put ourselves in situations where we might be in danger, or you might be for example, if you're going to leave your job, you're probably not going to go and tell your employer now, oh, listen, I'm thinking about leaving my job, so I'll let you know when I find a new one. You're probably not going to say that. I think that's a really good example for this card, that some things need to be kept close to you and not divulged. There's some planning that needs to be had before you action this change. And yes, it's going to bring up some anxiety. Yes, it's going to bring up some fears for you, for sure. Yes, you're going to feel like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, but it must be. But you've got to get the plans in place first. So these are full-on cards this week. All right, so the message with this card this week is that, yes, conflict. There is some conflict that needs resolving. Being too hard and too harsh on yourself is unhelpful. However, she stands on her own. She needs to be her own person. We know this in the story of Psyche, that Psyche must find her sense of agency and independence. She must find herself within her relationship. Atalanta stands on her own. She doesn't really do intimate relationships. She's her own person. So that's part of the energy of this card, but there is a huge, huge expectation that no one can live up to her standards. So one must be careful that we don't project that false expectation on others, or if it's being projected on you, be careful, because it's not reality, and it's no one can live up to those standards. Careful planning before you put the knife in. Be careful, plan carefully before you make your next move. I'm jesting about the knife, but for some people it might feel like that. For some of you online tonight, it might feel like, this is a big deal, and it's the ending, the death of something. So be careful about how you plan this. Don't tell everyone. All right? Just tell the closest people to you, the people that you can trust. Don't go advertising it all over, public social media. Okay, that's it for this week. Geez, they're intense cards. So now I'm thinking about my personal life as well, what's been going on for me. Gosh. Yes, I'll be a bit more careful about what I say, I think, in regards to my personal situation, a bit more cautious about how I deliver some of the news. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to do some readings now. Oh, did you, Barb? Yes, sometimes that happens, definitely. Sometimes that happens. Oh, Mel, I could just wish I could give you a big hug. Thanks, Samantha. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to do some readings now. Yes, Sonia, sure. Where are you? Oh, I've just lost you. Here we go. Okay, Sonia, would love a card if you feel drawn to me. Thank you. Sure. Let's draw a card for Sonia. Let's see what comes up. If you've got a question, don't feel shy to ask me a question. Just if I don't think I can answer it, I'll let you know. I won't lie to you. But yes, questions are good too. All right, Sonia Anders. Let's see. What have I got here? I think it's this card. Actually, I want to pick 2 cards for you, so I'm going to put that one aside and that one there. Okay, Sonia. Oh, look. Okay, Sonia, this is a card. This is what I would call a rite of passage. The major arcana are what archetypal, like psychological patterns or experiences that we all endure or have in our lifetime, and more often, more time than once, like over and over again. Think of life being a circular pattern, and we just keep repeating. Going. There's always another layer, to peel away. Just going a bit deeper and deeper and deeper each time we go through these rites of passage. So this card, this is the Hermit, and the Hermit represents the journey of aging. When we start to get a bit older and wiser, and we start to sense that there's that we're, when you're younger, you sort of, or when you're in your early 20s, you think you're going to live forever. As children, you just can't imagine what it would be like to be 30, let alone 50. This is the card of recognizing that you are aging, and that time is, that there's a time clock ticking away around your physical human experience. That I'm not suggesting you're going to die, by the way. That's not what I'm saying with this card, but it is about recognizing that you are mortal. That yes, your soul lives on forever, eternal. We all get that sense. We all can feel that. We have this sort of, when we look in each other's eyes, we can see eternity. We just know it. We see it when we look at each other. But this card represents the mortality of our human life. And it is the recognition of that. And then what that means is that one needs to find more meaning. It's what the question that comes up becomes an existential crisis. How do life, what is this all about? What am I here for? What's my purpose? Why am I really here? These are the questions that one asks himself when the Hermit arises in a reading. Like the question, trying to seek meaning or purpose, a greater purpose, for existence. Or what is it all about? So this is about a spiritual quest. This is about you going on a spiritual quest. And if you haven't already started, I'm encouraging you to go and explore spirituality in whatever way, you feel drawn to. Maybe it's through doing psychic development classes. Maybe it's through doing like sort of Buddhist, meditation, or going into a Buddhist temple. Maybe you're already doing that. Maybe this is just a confirmation that you are on the right path. And that you need to go and explore more of this inner reality to get to know yourself, so that you can create meaning of your experience. Life doesn't have meaning. We give it meaning. You give life meaning. Life itself is neutral. We give it meaning. And this is the card of learning how to make sense, or learning how to make meaning of our experience, so that it's almost like in preparation for your transformation, in preparation for something big that's manifesting in your life. Oh, look at this. Partnerships. Okay, so this is a nice card. So this is about one becomes two, coming together, partnerships. This is a partnership of some sort, a spiritual union, and it's a beautiful card. This is a great card. When the Two of Cups comes up in a reading, you can see this is Eros and Psyche. We saw them at the beginning of this reading, but they were having a fight. They had their first argument. They haven't argued yet. But you can see here that Psyche can't see him. She knows he's behind her. She knows he's about to rescue her, but she can't see him. She doesn't know who he is. And he's accidentally pricked himself with his arrow, and he's fallen deeply in love with her. But she doesn't know who's rescuing her. But, it feels good. It feels nice. So this is the beginnings of new relationship, potential new relationship. It can be friendships, or, all lovers, or business partners. It could also be spirit guides, the connection to your spirit guide, to the angelic realm. But this is about partnerships coming together, and spiritual unions, a spiritual union. And this feels really good. This feels really like nice, loving, high, unconditional, beautiful, a spiritual union. Okay. So next person. I'm going to put a link in the comments section for my psychic circle. That's going to close this week. So this is your last chance to join. It will be the most inexpensive way to get business mentoring with me. So I don't like sort of going on about money. I run a 6-figure business. I've been doing this work for quite some time, and I can teach you how to create light money in your business, doing the intuitive arts, being in service. And of course, you'll get training, intuitive arts training in our group, witchery training, as well as an amazing group of women that you get to hang out with and to be part of this beautiful circle. We're all supporting each other, growing together. It's a great circle. So yes, jump in. It is an amazing space. So there you go. Okay, next person. Let me see. All right, Tracy. Tracy, I would love a reading this week. Curious if I will get accepted to the MBA program I recently interviewed for. Well, my feeling is yes, but I haven't drawn the cards yet. But, I feel like it's a yes, and I feel like it's a yes. So I don't know why you're feeling insecure about it. Or maybe you just want some confirmation. Maybe it's just the excitement because you want it so much that you feel attached, so you don't trust that it's on its way for you. But it's a yes. So let's just see what cards come up anyway. Oh, look, yes, it's a yes. Stop worrying. You're being guided. You're at a crossroads. Big changes coming up for you. Yes, the path will open up for you. It's a yes. Do you want it? That'll be the question. And I think you do. So it's a big, massive yes. Hermes, your guide, is taking care of you. You've got nothing to worry about. It's been guided. You have been guided towards this. It's like ordained. It's ordained. The alchemist is going to bring it all together. And voila, like that, with his magic wand. It's yours. So trust. Okay. Oh, thanks, Linda. Yes, it is an amazing circle. It's a fabulous circle. Linda has been creating all the herbs and all the little packs, the spell packs for us in our circle. So, yes, you bring your business products in the circle and we work together. We share all our products with each other and it's great. It's really good. Jump in, If anything worthwhile, nothing's for free in this world. Let's get real, guys. Really, at the end of the day, I mean, besides this tonight, but anything, you've got to give to receive. You just do. And it's just how life works. If you've ever watched, if you've ever read, and I encourage you to read it, it's called Think and Grow Rich. He talks about that. Like, if you want to earn a lot of money, if you want to, acquire a certain amount of income or money, you've got to give. Like, what are you going to give in return? What are you going to offer out? What are you going to give to receive what you want? Like it's just the law, the natural universal law of how things work. Okay. What's this? Please. I don't know what your question is, sweet. I don't know what your question is, but I'm going to read a card for you anyway, because you don't need to beg me, but I'll read a card for you. Okay. In fact, I'm going to give you 2 cards. All right. First card. Oh, look. Okay, just what I was talking about. So I was just talking about giving to receive. So this card, the 4 of Pentacles, Daedalus, here he is here. He is, so this represents you needing to let go. You needing to let go of what you've got to build something new. So when this card comes up, sometimes it's about spending your resources or investing your resources in something that you want to get what you want. That holding on to what you have is not going to allow you to grow. So there's sort of an emotional component to this, that often when we grasp at what we have, I mean, there's some funny memes out there where people say, oh, stop being a 4 of Pentacles, which basically means a tight ass. I'm not suggesting you're a tight ass, but it has that kind of energy, with this card, where you scarcity mindset, where you don't think you have enough. Like underneath that, deeply underneath that is you don't think you're enough or don't have enough, and you're scared to give, or you're scared to spend, or you're scared to invest because you're worried about not getting anything back, or that you won't, that you're not enough, that you won't have enough, that you're going to run out. We live in an abundant universe. If you want to grow and you want to learn, you need to invest. This is the card of invest, of letting go to invest. So Daedalus didn't do that. He didn't do that. He saw his nephew was developing this amazing gift, and he was training him. He was his apprentice, and he was training him. And Daedalus was getting jealous. He was getting jealous of him. And instead of actually developing, like taking his practice to the next level, he threw him off the Acropolis and murdered him. But then what ended up happening, because he did that, he ended up losing everything. So it's like it's a metaphor, really, that you know, you're being called to grow. You're being called to grow professionally and to invest in your growth, in your professional growth. So, oh, look, yes, become the apprentice. Start looking at building something new. It's time. It's time to start developing a new art, a new craft. Go in. Go all in. Don't be afraid. This is when this card comes up. I call it the card of, you know, trying a new pair of jeans on for size. You know, there's always a pair of jeans. Some jeans fit really good, and some jeans just feel terrible. This is what this card is like. You're trying out things to see what your niche is, to see what you love, to give things a go. Like this is like, you know, training. To go into training, go and invest. Go and invest in training. Don't be afraid to do it. This is your green light. Otherwise, you're at risk of losing what you have. Like there's no gain. To risk nothing is to have nothing. There'll be no gain. And so invest. Go and invest and explore, you know, what it is that you want to learn. Go all in on it. I don't know why, like I've been a bit fearless around that in my life, around my passion to purpose. I don't give a shit. If I want to do something, I'll just go and do it. I'll make it happen. I'll find a way to make it happen. You know, whatever, however much it costs, I'll just do. If I want something, I'll just make it happen. You know, sometimes it has to be timed right, of course. Okay. So, oh, hello, Alicia. Good to see you. All right. Let's see. Who am I going to read for now? Where's my people? Where are my people from my page? It would be good to see some of my people. I wouldn't mind reading for some of my people too. Where are you? Where are my peeps? Where are you? Don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. Jump in. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's go with B. Hello, B. B Higgins. Nice to meet you. So I would really appreciate some relationship advice, please. Feeling lost and confused. Thank you. Sure. Okay, let's see what comes up. Let's see what the cards have to say. Occasionally, I will say this. Sometimes the cards decide they want to have another conversation with you outside of relationships. So if that happens, I won't try and make it up and pretend that the card means something else. I will just go with what's actually dropping in. So, yes, if Spirit wants to discuss it with us tonight, then it shall come up. Usually it does, just in case. Sometimes that happens. Okay, B Higgins. Yeah. Do you know the card I looked at had a little bend in it, and I now know I recognise that card with a little bend in it. I thought, oh, I don't like reading that card. And I thought, well, don't do the right thing. That's where you were guided. Go to that card. Anyway, okay, well, so this card represents healing. This represents healing the heart. It's an emotional journey into self-love. The focus now must be on your self-love. It must be opening your heart to loving yourself, to self-care, self-love. This is the story of Narcissus, who fell deeply and madly in love with himself. He wasn't allowed to look at himself. He was a beautiful human. And you know, all the Greeks, there were all the oracles. The oracles used to foretell all these future events. And an oracle said to his mum that he mustn't ever see how beautiful he is, because it will be the death of him. And well, actually, that is what happened. So she never allowed him to see himself. And men and women fell in love with him. He was so beautiful. And finally, he saw his reflection in the water in the cup, and he didn't realize that it was his reflection, and he fell deeply in love with the reflection. And he would try and hit the water to try and touch the reflection, and it would disappear. So he just stood still, and he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave this cup. He stood there and eventually starved, died, because he was so obsessed with his own beauty. So this is a myth about self-love. It is a myth about self-love. And I suppose we could sort of talk about it as well in the context of narcissistic relationships as well. But I want to speak, I feel like there's some of that there, but I feel like this is also about you, loving yourself, taking care of yourself, looking after yourself. This is the be gentle on yourself, be gentle on your heart. You've been through a lot. You've actually been through a lot. So just go easy on yourself. And I think like when we go back to the reading that we had, I hope you watched the beginning of this reading, because I think it would be very relevant to the card that we've pulled tonight, actually. And this would be sort of hang with that, with those cards as well. Okay. Oh, yes, this is the doubts and fears that you have. I'm going to encourage you to trust that. I'm going to encourage you to trust the off note that you feel. I think there's a reason why you feel that, and I don't think that, my feeling is when I sit with this that you need to trust yourself and trust your feelings around that, and trust your gut instinct, trust your heart. Just there's an off note and you know it, and I want you to trust that and follow that. I can't tell you what to do in your relationship. All I can suggest is that you trust yourself, love yourself, to take care of yourself, and trust the off note. It's a message. It's a sign. Okay. Alicia, sure. Let's read for Alicia. Hello, Alicia. Alicia is one of my amazing, fabulous mythic tarot students who's learning therapeutic tarot. She's incredible. She has her own practice on the beach. Where is it, Alicia? It's on the coast, isn't it? Can you put a little post in there and just let people know where you are? She's amazing. And she also does online readings too. I should be really selling my own services, shouldn't I? But she is really good. She's fabulous, our Alicia. She's amazing. Okay, let me do a reading for Alicia. I don't know personally because I've been watching her learning and how she does her readings. Right, let me see. Alicia. Let's see. Alicia, let's have a look. Yeah, so if you're wondering where she is, she's in Queensland somewhere. Can't remember where exactly, Alicia. Where are you? I need to put it in there for them so that people can see. Okay, focus, Alicia. Right, wouldn't it be amazing if the Queen of Cups came up tonight, Alicia? Wouldn't that be interesting? Okay, Alicia, so this is a great card, the King of Pentacles. So he represents you're being called to invest your time. Don't be afraid of a bit of hard work. Let yourself, this is about industry. This is about, wealth. This is about you stepping into that energy. Did you know Cancerians love their possessions? They love their things. They love their money. They love the security of that. And the Capricorn, it would be interesting to see where Capricorn is in your chart, actually. I'll have a look. I'll have a look at that before Wednesday. That would be good, wouldn't it? We'll have a look and see where he is in your chart. And so, so the King of Pentacles, he is about you working hard. This is you putting the work in. And maybe, some of the conversation that we had briefly earlier is about, putting some structure. This is the guy who has discipline. He puts discipline into his practice. So sometimes I explain this guy like the guy who gets to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, who has the most ripped body, who has the perfect diet, who is disciplined to have this ripped, like the most ripped person in the gym. This is the energy of this guy. He requires hardworking discipline. That's being called from you to start being a bit more disciplined in your practice, to find that discipline again. It's not a negative card. The King of Pentacles is about, your capacity to make a lot of money in this lifetime, that in fact you are meant to make a lot of money, that it's in your, it's in your field to draw and attract money to you. And that's great. And I would be saying that to yourself. I would be reminding yourself of that money comes to me with ease, because actually it does. And it will. It will come to you with ease, but it's going to require you to be a bit more disciplined around your practice, to start being a bit more disciplined about what you're doing. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, because you need to build those foundations to grow things. He has strong foundations, systems in place, supports in place, website in place, getting all of that stuff ready and in place, systems and automations and that sort of thing in the background, so his business can flow, can bring in flow. He is like a good businessman. This is the CEO. So you've been called to step into that energy. And so the next card, look at this, public acclaim. Look at this, Alicia. This is a good sign. This is public acclaim. This is you stepping into your public persona. And look at the team of people that you have behind you. You don't have to do this alone. Remember that. Like, this is about asking for help when you need it. This is about being part of a community of people, to let yourself be a part of a community, to get the support and help that you need to get your project and your things off the ground. But this is you having a public persona, that you're becoming known. This is about being known for what you do, becoming known for your practice. And this is a great card. I would like suggest, I know you're probably, I don't know if you guys are still in lockdown. I don't watch the news, everyone. Isn't that terrible? I just don't like it. I like being a bit ignorant. I don't know what's going on in the news, but I know there was a lockdown. I know there was a 3 days or something. I don't know. Sorry, that's not very good, is it? But if there's no, like, this is like, I would like to see you potentially in some kind of like expo or something like that, where you're public, where people can see you, where you're being seen. Actually, that's quite relevant to what we were talking about as well. Interesting. Okay, so this is a good sign. This is you. You found your niche. You found your thing. Now it's just time to go all in, Alicia. Like, you've got to be disciplined around it. If you want to make it, if you want to create a business, then there's got to be some disciplines and practices in place to sort of to get it moving. And it is like me popping on a Sunday night. Do I feel like it every Sunday? No, but I show up every Sunday, or most Sundays. These are the sorts of disciplines that you sort of got to get in the practice of doing to create like a public, presence. I think it's important for it's just how it is now, social media. It's just how it is. Okay, moving on. Louise, hello. Good to see you. No, you're not too late. Okay, where am I? Yes, Louise. Louise friends. Hello, Louise. Lovely to see you. So glad you're here. Another one of my students. So glad you're here. Learning the Mythic Tarot, becoming a therapeutic tarot reader, soul reader, tarot therapist, tarot counselor. Yes, at the beginnings of the program. Loving her presence. She's amazing. Okay, card for Louise friend. You're not too late. Absolutely not. Let's see. Sticking out. This sticky outy one's looking at me. And this one. I'm just having to picking 2 cards for people now. I don't know. I just like doing that. Oh, fabulous cards. When I do this means it's going to be great. It's going to be good. So we've got the Empress. Right. First of all, Louise, you're very fertile. You have a very fertile body and you are very fertile. This is a really great card. Demeter, we know Demeter is all about divine timing. We just studied Demeter, didn't we? She's about divine timing. She's about you, like, trusting the natural cycles, trusting that nature has your back. Nature is constantly growing, evolving, and supporting you and nurturing you and nourishing you. Trust that Demeter is going to deliver the goods to you, and that whatever what you can't see right now is cooking in the belly of the divine mother, the divine goddess. You are going through a divinely intelligent process. You're in the belly of beautiful Demeter, and you're about to rebirth. This is a preparation for some rebirth. Look what card we've got. Look what card we've got. You haven't got to this card yet. This is the beginnings. This is the rebirth. This is you in the belly of this beautiful goddess. This is the embryo, and the snake represents the womb. And look, and so this card represents new chapters, brand new chapters. But right before that, it's like lessons have been learned. You have evolved. You have changed. You have grown like exponentially. This is the card of having learned lessons that you'll never repeat again. Oh, don't we all love that? Aren't we all craving that? Put your hand. Oh, I can't see you, but yes, I'll put my hand up. I make a few mistakes over and over again. This is about lessons that have been learned and mistakes that have been made that you'll never make again. And it's such a great card. So this is you preparing for this next stage of your life. And there's a reason to celebrate with this card. It is a celebratory card. The Fool is about to be birthed. Right? The Fool, you on the new chapter, the hero of the journey, is about to rebirth into this new beginning. Not quite there yet, not quite. Just enjoy soaking all of this in, because it's not far away. It's not far away. Think of this card like closing a book, and you're at the end of, you've read the last chapter, and you finally read the last chapter. You close the book and you sit back and you reflect. You reflect on how amazing the journey's been, all the characters in the journey, the people that you met, the people that helped you, the people that were difficult. But you start to see it. You see how it all makes sense, and you can see it from this higher perspective. And this is a connection with the self. Jung refers to this card as the self. The self is the totality of who you are: ego, persona, shadow, anima, animus, self. This is the totality. You have a sense of that with this card. It's such a brilliant card. You've evolved. This is the card of evolution. Such a great little spread there. I'd be happy with that. That's why I did that. Oh, so good. So good. Can't wait to see what unfolds for you. Brand new beginning. Brand new beginning. How are we going for time? I do talk a lot. Oh, good. We've still got plenty of time. Great. Shit. Oh, I just get a bit excited, Okay. So Kaz McKellar. Hello, Kaz. Kaz McKellar, nice to meet you. Would love a card if you're drawn to me. Marina? Yes. Sure. Okay. It's just looking at the cat sitting on the chair there, cozied up. Okay. Let's see. Kaz. Oh, I need to shuffle again. I was thinking about somebody else. Sorry, Kaz. I have to shuffle again. I had somebody else in my mind, and I just thought that's not good. Repick. Pre-pick, reshuffle. Kaz. Excuse me, McKellar. Kaz McKellar. Here we go. 1, 2. I had to do that quickly before my critical mind, before my logical mind got in the way. It was taking over, trying to control my thoughts instead of me being picking intuitively. Okay. Oh, look at these cards. Right. So, Kaz, this card represents you this is about you speaking your truth. You need to speak your truth. There's something that needs to be said. It's about, or maybe this is about you coming into your own person, learning how to sort of be more honest, learning how to exercise your power through your voice. Women, we need to learn to exercise our voice. It exercises our power. We have to learn to say no. No, I do not. No, I don't want to. Not today. Maybe tomorrow, but if it's still a maybe, it's still a no. You're allowed to say no. This is the exercising your power. But this card's more than that. This is the development of values that are driving your decisions now, and the development of new values that give you this sense of this valued self, this person on the inside that wants to create some change. And you're being called to align with the values, those things that matter to you. Ask yourself this, what actually truly matters to me? What really does matter to me? Values can be things like truth, honesty, love, creativity, integrity. And to align with those values, in terms of making the changes. This is the beginning of change. This is the beginning of change and transformation. The air element is entering into your field. Air element can be pretty destructive and chaotic, and it's, I'm going to mess this up. Not you. I'm going to mess the saying up massively. But there's a fabulous spiritual teacher called Ajashanti who talks about transformation being chaotic and messy. And if you think it's going to be neat and tidy, you can forget it. So there is a sort of messiness to this card. Be careful about who you choose to, share what you're doing. Like, be cautious about that. It's a bit like Chinese whispers, you know, it can be gossipy with this card as well. So we can tend to like misinterpret things, or our words become misinterpreted. So just, you know, be careful about how you share your opinions and your views around the subject. This is about getting what you want. This is about you getting what you want, but it's going to require change, and it's going to require you to actually ask for it. Like, say it. You know, ask and you shall receive. And so, yeah, this is like, you know, whether it be some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of like up leveling your work, or, you know, promotion, or and getting what you want. This is that you're going to have to exercise your voice to get it. Okay. Hello, Natasha. Long time no see. Good to see you. It's been far too long. I hope you're keeping well. Hope you're doing really well. So, yes, Natasha, sure. It's been too long, hey? I'd love a card, please. Yes. Well, I've still got time, so don't run away, everyone. I'm still here. Listen, thanks so much for jumping on tonight. I appreciate you jumping on. I'm new on this. Well, I'm on a few channels at the moment. I've got this really fabulous tool called StreamYard, so it lets me stream onto few different platforms at once. But that was a bit of a noise out there. But yes, I am new to spiritual directories, spiritual events and directories. I can never get the name right. It's terrible, isn't it? Forgive me for that. Yes, so I appreciate you hanging around. Oh, you're welcome, Kaz. You're welcome. I'm just going to put a link in the comments section here. So this is for my Psychic Circle, the group of contemporary witches, intuitive and spiritual entrepreneurs, learning the arts, monetizing their craft. It's the most inexpensive way that you'll get business mentoring with me, plus an intuitive arts training, plus all the extra things. The people in my group, I should say this. I've only got 3 spots left now, actually. I've only got 3 spots left. The people in my group, they get personalized twice a month, new moon and full moon readings relevant to whatever it is that they're working on. I usually get I haven't got it here. I was going to show you. I usually get my board out as well. I've got an Ouija board, and I'll chat with spirit at the same time and do readings as well in that space, only for that group, only for that group. Yes, love it. I don't mind. Okay. And I've got I'm doing everybody's chart. Well, I'm not doing their charts, but I'm including them because I'm learning astrology at the moment, actually. So, Natasha, here we go. Here's your card. Oh, Natasha, so good. Okay, so another transition. What, girl, you're always on the move. So this is a major card. This is a transitionary card. We know with this card that sometimes when Hecate knocks on our door, the moon card can be, well, the moon gets romanticized, doesn't it? Look at my necklace. Look, I'm even wearing one. The moon gets romanticized out in the spiritual circles. Everybody thinks, oh, Luna, I've got a moon in the back of my head here. There you go. There's the moon. Nice picture of a beautiful moon. It gets romanticized, but it is think of the moon shining light on the shadows. Think of the moon shining light on the repressed, on the hidden aspects of our being. It can be quite disturbing, and it can be psychologically, it can be somewhat scary when we go into Hecate's realm. If we think of the moon at night shining light on a tree branch, it can make a tree branch look like a monster, depending on our perceptions at the time. So this card, it actually does represent the collective unconscious, or the collective psyche. If you think of the collective psyche, if you know astrology, it is the 12th house, or think of it like a massive ocean, and we can't quite get to the bottom of it. It's really deep and heavy, and it's all the repressed, like, hidden aspects of being. And Natasha's been floating in this realm. She's been floating with the collective psyche. And it's not all bad with this card, but sometimes people go through a bit of a spiritual crisis, or maybe we become you might have recently become somewhat unwell, or physically, or had being physically unwell, or feeling exhausted or depleted. But it's like you're going through, it's a bit of a spiritual crisis with this card. And on the other side of this is like light. There's light at the end of the tunnel. But it is about being patient. Sometimes I'll say with this card, Natasha, that it is about being in the waiting room, like having to wait for your turn. And I'm sure there's a part of you, well, when's that going to be? Like, when? Hurry up, bring it, right? And the promise with Hecate is that you do get what you want, but you have to learn to sit in, be patient and wait. And you are going through like a caterpillar in the chrysalis. You are going through some changes again, and it does feel like a bit of a spiritual crisis. Like spiritually, you've shifted again. So we've got this card here. I don't do upside down, so that didn't mean anything negative. Natasha, this is the card of valuing your worth. This is the card of recognizing that you have all that you need and to value your worth, and that you are good enough. You've always been good enough, and that you do have what you need, and you can have what you want, and that you need to invest your time and your resources in what you want. You are worth it. This is about, sometimes I say to people, and I really do believe this, that your self-worth is like a map to your purpose or your destiny or what you're meant to be doing in this lifetime. It maps it out for you. Your self-worth is built on all the things that you love. Like if you were to write yourself a list of all the things that you love, these are the things that you want, like that give you this sense of substance, of feeling worthy on the inside. And it doesn't necessarily mean like objects. It could be like going for runs. It could be like going out in nature. It could be hanging out with friends. It could be listening to certain songs and music. But all of those things give us a sense of substance, a sense of self, the valued self, the you that stands outside of the problem story, the you that isn't problem saturated, the you that's had amazing experiences that you often don't. Well, we often don't talk about those. We talk about the problem story. Marketing is just constantly marketing problems. You turn on the news, media, it's, we live in a problem saturated society. This card's about excavating the valued self who stands outside of the problem, that has had all of these amazing experiences. So you've been called to remember her, to bring her into your conscious awareness. The problem sort of makes us feel a bit, gives us this temporary amnesia. We forget who we are when we become problem saturated. So this is about, getting in touch with this valued self, however that looks for you. And yes, you've been going through a bit of a rough trot. I don't doubt that that's been easy, but it's passing. It will pass. It will pass. It will pass. Okay. How are we going? Guys, I've got to go. I'm so sorry. I have to go. I so appreciate everybody showing up tonight. I do 1-hour readings via Zoom or in-house if you're in Perth. You can book in on my website. I should probably put that up there. Let me just put my psychic circle up there. Join. Do you know, I was saying, I was in my astrology class the other day, and I said, oh God, I'm just sick of selling because it's so good. It's just so good. I could just do it. You're missing out. Enjoy it. It's so enjoyable. Come and join us. It's amazing. If you want to be doing this work and you want to be monetizing it, come and join our group. You'll never get a group at this price point. It's amazing. And yes, it is fabulous. So just come and join. Okay. So yes, what else I wanted to do was I wanted to put my my soul readings link in there. I forgot to do that, so I'll do that quickly. If you'd like a soul reading, you can book in online, and when you book in, my calendar will come up and it will give you a list of my available times. And of course, you can go and just pick a time that works for you, and then it'll auto send you a Zoom link. So the Zoom link will come with an automated email. So I know I'll get the email too saying that you've booked in. And you can put a little question in there if you want as well. And yes, would love to support you. Would love to support you on this journey. Okay, everyone. I am so appreciative of everybody being here. Sending you so much love. Have an amazing evening. I'll see you all next week. Mwah. Take care, everyone.